All right. How you doing, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to Coffee Talky. I guess this will be my morning segment from now on. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Basically, just getting ready for the day, chit-chatting, chilling out, giving you guys a little insight about what's going on in my personal life with, some stuff anyway. And whatever you guys feel like bringing up that we can talk about. Sounds good to me. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comment section down below. And I got my cup of Joe right here, as you can see. Mega Num Nums. Good stuff. And I've got Rhodey on right now. We're going to see what Rhodey's up to. And if the order is enticing enough, we'll go get it. And I'll turn Uber Eats on in a little while, depending on, whether or not it's actually busy. They barely sent me any stuff anyway. When they sent me something, I think it was yesterday's live stream, $2.68 for 2.7 miles. That was no bueno. No bueno indeed. All right, preferred vehicle. Here we go. Cool beans. And let's see, who's here so far? Looks like we got B. What's going on, B? A cup of coffee and a corn cob. Good stuff. Do you turn on the apps at home? Well, I have been lately, and the main reason for that is because I was using my mountain bike for a few days to get around because my e-bikes were out of commission. One of them still is, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I was doing it that way because with a mountain bike and with a lot of the windiness that we've had lately, it's kind of hard to just want to go out without something to get me out of the house first. With an e-bike, it's a lot easier and much more preferable. Now, with my e-bikes, typically what I'll do is when I'm ready to go to work, I'll head over to my hotspot, which is over by Target. It's like not even a mile and a half from here. And there's a nice bench that's got some shade I like to sit at, pretty much right in front of the building. The reason why I picked that spot, it's right in the midst of a bunch of other restaurants and stores that are nearby, like Five Below, Panda Express, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Those are all in the same plaza, by the way. So that's pretty dope. Petco. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff like Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. That's like right next door. So it's a good spot to be in, right? So on my e-bike, when I'm ready to head to work, I'll just head right over there and I'll just sit around, wait for the opportunity to come, and then I start my day. But with the mountain bike, I had to get out of the house first, like something to take me out of the house. So that's how I was doing it. However, that brings me into the topic, or should I say the title of this live stream, which is the fact that I did get one of my bikes fixed. So I got the spokes that I needed. And even though the spokes were a little too big, I was able to saw them down just a tiny bit so I can actually wedge them in properly. That's what she said. And I was able to properly lace the rim because it's a bicycle spoke rim, right? So it needs bicycle spokes. Bicycle spokes, you need to lace them. And depending on the patterns, depending on how large the rim is, they need to be laced differently. So mine is it's a single crossover lacing. So essentially the pushing and pulling spokes need to cross in the same pattern on each side. I was missing 4 on the one side that's over by the freewheel, or not the freewheel, the opposite side of the freewheel. So that would be the disc rotor. So I needed more on that side. I needed 4 of them to be exact. I asked the manufacturer if they had any in stock. They did not. They showed me some listings of what were available of the exact size I needed, which was 12G, 137 millimeter. And the 2 listings they had were like $50 or $50+ each, which is ridiculous, right? Extremely specific size, and they have to upcharge it. And it's from China. So I took matters into my own hands. I found a listing where it's 1 millimeter larger than it needs to be, but I was able to saw it down and get them wedged in properly. Plus, I got them yesterday, so as soon as I got them, I'm like, all right, let's get to work. Let's get that done. So I got that done. The motor's laced. It's not perfect. I would like to go back and tune it up a bit once I get my other bike fixed, but I needed to get it done as quickly as possible. And thankfully, I have some kind of idea what I'm doing. A lot of my bike skills and e-bike skills are largely DIY, do it yourself, right? A lot of do it yourself with this stuff, but I made sure it was at least sufficient enough so I could ride the bike properly and fairly smoothly. So we'll see. I did take pictures too. And I'll show you guys pictures of the bike that I'm talking about. Yeah. Very convenient for sure. Okay, looks like Sabian's here. What's going on, dude? You have autism and bald. I am Yes, you are, Kane. Why are you harassing Terry? I don't think I'm the right person to ask that. So, that's right, community post. I made a community post about it. So I will show you the community post in a second. Let me. Okay. I have decided to postpone my search for a band until April. I see. Any particular reason, money-wise, or something else like that? If you feel like sharing, you can let us know in the comment section down below. Yes, I know. Yes, you're Saving Green. I know. Nice to meet you. Well, I already know, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I was going to present the community post. I know this is Kane. It's totally cool, Kane. I don't mind. I don't care. Because, at the end of the day, trolling helps the algorithm. Plus, plus we're friends anyway. I don't care. Let's see. So, community post about my bike. I finally got my Auto Juliet e-bike back on the road. It needs to be tuned up in a couple of areas, such as the front wheel axle, which is a bit rattly. I was experiencing that even with the G-Force T7 because I actually swapped out the front wheels for both bikes while the Auto Juliet was out of commission. And I'm still waiting on the 4 correct size spokes for the hub motors. This is not perfectly straight. That should turn up in the mail by the 22nd because it's coming from China. It's going to take some time, but we'll see what happens. And it needs a new rear brake pad. That got worn down from... The reason why the brake pad got worn down, I was using that for the G-Force T7 bike. Because the ones that came with the G-Force T7 bike, that's the one you guys have seen in my videos, by the way. The brake pads, it's like they already got worn out or they were just really cheap. Plus, they were off these brakes that literally nobody knows about. They're called FA500 HDs from a company that has one single website that only describes the item. They don't actually sell the brakes themselves, which is ridiculous. Meanwhile, the ones that came with Juliet, they're DY Islands. For anyone that has bikes or is familiar with bikes, you've probably heard of DY Island, right? They make all kinds of bike gear, such as brakes, brake calipers in particular. The ones that came with Juliet were MT600s. Those are pretty standard. They're like 2-piston, 4-piston, and they're good. They get the job done. They came with Juliet. I put them on the G-Force T7 for a while because the G-Force stock brake calipers were garbage. They wore out immediately, and they would just make all kinds of just really loud, ear-puncturing scraping sounds. I just wasn't into that. Plus, the rear brake pad was completely gone after a couple months. It was bogus. So, with that wear and tear, I do have to get a new brake pad for that. But brake pads are cheap, right? I can get a pair for like $18 on Amazon, so no big deal. But those things aside, it runs fine. Haven't taken this bike out since August, so I'll need to get used to the bike again. But after test riding it, I'm just happy to get it back on the road. For anyone that didn't know, this was the first of my bikes that needed a new hub motor since it spun out, and I needed some spare parts after the company sent me a new motor. I'm also still working on a new motor for the G-Force T7 bike you've seen in my... I said seen in my bikes. I meant to say bike videos. I'll correct that. Which also spun out. And I need to get new brake calipers since I was using the ones for the Juliet bike. So yeah, I need... I could buy those off Amazon for like $90. It's pretty reasonable. But I'll update you guys when I get the parts I need. Yeah, what I'm talking about is the Iawata Juliet. That's my other e-bike. That was the one that I was fixing last night. So this community post is just me going over that. I'll show you what it looks like too. I actually put pictures. I've been pushing these bikes pretty hard since acquiring them, which is true. And ever since my accident, I've become more cautious with how I navigate the road these days, which is understandable. Moving forward, I'm going to give more TLC and not overload these bikes as much, but thankfully I have another tool to help me still carry large orders, which will be featured in a future video. And when I get the new motor for the G-Force T7, I'll turn that into a bike reconstruction live stream. So ultimately, I chose not to live stream me getting this bike back on the road because I didn't take it apart that much, and I still need to get some stuff for me to live stream on the go, which I do plan to do, by the way. I do plan to live stream on the go. So not just in my room with a green screen backdrop behind me. Like if I wanted to take you guys for a ride along for work, or if I just felt like going for a bike ride and talking about stuff or whatever, right? Not being home or not being in the room. I do plan on that. I just have to get some stuff to make that happen. But I know what I got to do, and it's going to happen in the near future. In the meantime, this is the bike that I fixed up. So I know the picture's a little blurry because, you know, this is a track phone camera, but it's got a step-through frame. It's got that massive battery right here. And there's the usual large bike bag that you guys have seen on my other bike. Plus that giant cruiser seat. That thing is so comfortable. I love it. It looks like a moped, right? It pretty much looks like a moped. So I took a rear shot too. That's what she said. It's a very nice bike. For sure. I put a handlebar raiser on it a while ago just because I felt like the positioning was a bit too low for my taste, but that's just me. And for the actual bike itself, I'll show you a listing. Let's go to Iawata Juliet. So pretty much it's this bike. Now, this is the 2024 model. I got the 2023 model last year, but yeah, it's gorgeous, right? Beautiful bike. I love it. It's great. And this will be the bike that you guys see in future vlogs moving forward, assuming that things continue to run well with the bike, which so far so good, right? Because as I was describing in the community post, this was the bike that spun out last year. So that was around August. I only had it for a few months too, which is ridiculous, right? A motor should not give out that quickly. But I don't know. I digress. I guess it just had to do with the wear and tear that I was putting on it, I guess. I don't know. Because like I said, I push these bikes quite a bit. I mean, you see the way that I've loaded that bag on the back of these bikes. So you know what I'm talking about when it comes to pushing these bikes. But yeah, the motor spun out, which basically means it's unable to propel the bike with the assistance. You can still pedal the bike, you can still move it. It's just the motor is no longer able to provide assistance as you pedal. So if you needed to, like if you were stranded in the middle of nowhere, you needed to get back home, you can still pedal this like a regular bike to get back home, unless you had a mid-drive motor. If you had a mid-drive motor, they would put it around right where the crank is. Like you see where the bike crank is, that's where you put your, that's what rotates the bike by pushing on it with your feet. So right where the crank is, they would typically put a mid-drive motor there if you had a mid-drive motor bike. But this is a hub motor bike, which means the motor could be on the front wheel or the rear wheel, or it could be both. In this case, it's the rear wheel. So if that happens, like I said, you can still pedal the bike in case you got stranded and you needed to pedal back home. Has that happened to me before? Yes, it has, and it happened with this bike. I was dropping off a Panda Express order, and as soon as I was leaving, I heard the crunching sound, and I was like, "Uh-oh!" And the bike was like, it was not able to propel itself anymore, and I was like, "What happened?" And I kept trying, and it just wasn't working. It kept making that crunching sound. So what I had to do was basically just pedal the bike back home. Now, while it is neat that you can pedal the bike back home in case the motor no longer functions, or if you lost power or anything like that, it does suck because the bike weighs 120 pounds. So you got to use you and your own physical assertion to pedal a 120-pound bike without assistance. Rough. Trust me, it was not fun, but I made it work. Because luckily I was only a couple miles from the house, so it wasn't that big a deal. I made it work. And thankfully I did get a flat tire. And trust me, if you guys have followed my previous channel, I don't have the best luck with getting flats, let me tell you. I got the luck of the Irish when it comes to getting flats, but thankfully that day, that did not happen. If that happened, my God, I'd be ready to hit up an Uber, if you know what I mean, or at least a taxi or something. But I digress. Kind of looks like a dirt bike. Yeah, good way to put it. I know naturally the handlebars are situated pretty low, kind of like a mountain bike or a dirt bike, so it puts you in like a sporty sitting position. But I'm not really that fond of that position, especially if I'm riding for long periods of time. So I use the handlebar raiser. That way I'm in a more upright, arms extended position. It feels a little better to me. It's a little different compared to the G-Force T7, just because the length of the frame is longer and the positioning of the seat with the handlebars is also further away. So the seating position is still a little more sporty, like if you're riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike or a mountain bike, but still feels good. Hubby had a battery die, had to pedal the rest of the way. Yeah, I've had that happen with other bikes I've had in the past too. My very first e-bike, it was called the Luckkeep X1. The company claimed it gets up to 60-mile range, which is bogus, absolutely not true. No matter what low pedal assistance setting that I would use, it would only muster like 45, 50, which is not that bad, but you're only pedaling like 9, 10 miles an hour. So no, that just ain't worth it, Chief. So I was in like the highest setting going full throttle, which would get a maximum 20 miles an hour. And it capped out around 18 or so. And I was on the highway. Oh no. And I was like, oh crap, I got to pedal the rest of the way. And it sucked. I mean, I was able to turn it on and off and then pedal a little bit and then have to pedal myself, a little bit, pedal myself. So I get what it's like. I'd imagine it'd be heavy to pedal. Yes, big time. Definitely heavy to pedal. One thing I definitely appreciated about the mountain bike the past several days, I've rode mountain bikes in the past, by the way. I was a huge enthusiast for mountain bikes when I was younger, like high school, college. But I definitely felt the weight difference between the bikes, right? The mountain bike I've got outside, I don't even think it weighs like 30 pounds, not even, I don't think. And it felt pretty light as a feather for sure. Compared to pedaling 120 pounds dead weight. Yeah, it was a workout for sure. Definitely a workout. But yeah, this was the bike that I was able to fix up last night. So Juliet, that's the name of the bike. She will be back on the road and she will be featured in upcoming vlogs. So if you guys want to see all that and more, be sure to stick around. And for the uninitiated as well, you might also be wondering, actually, hold on, wait a minute. G-Force T7 right here. So this is the other bike that I have. This is the bike that you guys have seen in my videos thus far. the GeForce T7. I know I'm recapping from previous streams, but we're still getting new people here, so I don't mind the recapping. But yeah, same problem happened with this bike. The motor spun out, but thankfully I was like a quarter mile away from the house, and I was still able to pedal it back home. Plus, this bike weighs like 25, 30 pounds less than Juliet. So it was not nearly as much of a chore to get back to the house with this bike. Still waiting on the manufacturer about this bike's motor. We'll see what happens, right? I think it's been about 5 or 6 days. I don't know if they're just running behind or I don't know, something's going on, but I'm going to keep bugging them until I hear back from them. They have come through for me in the past, right? I've told you guys a little bit about the battery issues and the battery cover issues I've had, and they just wound up sending me a brand new battery and a brand new charger. So that was good on them. They came in clutch. Pun intended, because a hub motor has a clutch. But I digress. And keeping it real. What's going on? Keeping it real? Do you have a warranty on that bike? Yes, I do. I got a warranty on both. What about the Romeo? Can I call the GeForce T7 the Romeo? I mean, if you want, sure, that's fine. But speaking of Romeo, yeah, they do have Iota Romeo. So there's a couple model variations of the Romeo. So this is what one of them looks like, and that is a bike. Let me present the screen real quick so you guys see what I mean. That is a bike. I mean, that full on looks like a dirt bike, a motorcycle. Look at this thing. It's got the dual motor. I think they have one that's a single motor as well, but man, look at that thing. That's a nice bike. And I mean, it's a little pricey though. That's why I didn't get it. Otherwise, I really would have wanted this bike. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. How much does it weigh? Last I checked, I think it weighs like 150 pounds. Oof. I mean, keep in mind, right? You got a 60 amp hour battery in the center. That battery weighs, I think, around 27, 28 pounds. And then you got the dual motors. It's all wheel drive, right? It's dual hub motor. So that's adding like, what, about 17, 18 pounds per wheel, not including the type of tires. And then you got the dual crown fork. Dual crown forks are really good, but they're also pretty heavy. And then you got the suspension parts. Suspension parts always weigh more. So you figure you got a big coil spring on there. Plus the frame, right? The frames are bigger, which means they're also heavier. So add that and the electric components. Yeah, it's understandable why this bike is heckin' heavy. Faux show. But yeah, if I go to the manufacturer specs, I don't know if they show it on Amazon's website, but last I checked, it was on Iota's website. Let me see. All right, there's Romeo. Like I mentioned before, there are a couple variations of Romeo. So this one just has the singular hub motor. This one, I think, weighs closer to 130 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. If it'll show it. It usually does. Hold on. Top speed. Yeah, okay, here we are. So the singular motor one with the battery installed weighs about 125 pounds. And let's see. Yeah, this is the one we were looking at on Amazon. See, this one I think weighs close to 150, if I'm not mistaken. It's got the dual hub. So yeah, that's right, 151 pounds. Oof, that's a heavy bike. Rest in peace if you got to pedal that thing without the electric assistance or the assistance from the motor. That would be no bueno. Wow, too heavy. Yeah, that is a workout. Never, let's see, never rode my hubby's e-bike. It's too tall. Yeah, some bikes are. Some bikes, they're like elevated higher above the ground. Usually the step over frames are taller, right? So if you struggle to mount a bike, usually a step through frame would be better because they're generally situated lower to the ground compared to step over. And it's not just the frame itself, but the actual wheelbase. So, little fun fact for you. Rented an e-bike last summer at a campground for my foot. I bet that came in clutch, pun intended. But I estimate it weighed less than 100. Yeah, most e-bikes are not like 100 pounds. Your average e-bike probably weighs around 50, 60. If it has like a smaller battery, if it has less technical parts to it, like if it's a singular motor, for example, a lot of them will usually weigh like 50, 60, maybe 70 pounds, which is it's doable, right? It's doable. We got in trouble because I let my 13-year-old niece drive it and she crashed. And they told us only 16 and up can drive them. Yeah, I don't know I'm not sure what the legality in Florida is with age restriction. I know the bike laws in Florida. I just don't know the minimum age requirement in my state is. I'm actually curious about that. Florida minimum age to ride e-bike. Oh, yeah, it is 16 here too. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait. No, there's another caveat too. I'll share it. Because this could be valuable information. This is a surprise tool that'll help us later. All right, so in Florida, according to a quick Google search, says 16 years old in Florida, there are currently no specific age restrictions for operating e-bikes. However, riders must have a valid driver's license to operate a Class 3 e-bike and be at least 16 years old. So pretty much, if it's a Class 1 or Class 2 e-bike, they don't care. But if it's a Class 3 and above, then they do. Makes sense. Now, I know in Florida, you're also required to register a Class 3 e-bike. So if you have a Class 3 e-bike, such as the Juliet or G-Force T7, must be registered. It only costs $5 a year to register a bike, by the way, in the state of Florida. That could vary from state to state. So check your local and state laws. West Virginia. I see. Wish they would have shared that info with us when we rented it. Yeah, they didn't? Huh. That's surprising. Well, I guess maybe they're just assuming like, oh, well, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. That's not my problem. Give me the money, sign the paper. That's what a lot of these companies are like, huh? That's dumb. Or as I say, that is no bueno. Very no bueno indeed. Let's see. Just had minor scrapes, no serious injury. Well, I'm glad she's okay. No, and then they yelled at us. I see. Well, I'm glad she's okay. Glad you guys are okay. Wasn't anything too serious, at least. Gotta go. Just want to say hi. Glad you got your bike fixed. Peace and prosperity to you. Well, peace and prosperity to you too, Mr. Keeping It Real. Definitely appreciate you keeping it real, and I definitely appreciated the encouragement for me to get that large grocery order on the mountain bike. So we'll catch you guys next time. Let's see. And yes, today will actually be my first day, at least in however many days it's been, I think 4 or 5 days, that I will be going online for DoorDash. But I'll wait a little later for that. I was keeping DoorDash off for a minute because I had enough leeway with the amount of orders that I completed in the past 30 days in order for me to still keep platinum. Because for the uninitiated, yes, I do platinum on an e-bike, and it is way better to do platinum on an e-bike than a car. But that's just me. And why specifically? The orders are pretty much always a shorter commute, and you still get good orders. And a lot of the time, the orders might even be more valuable for your time and the mileage. And I'll go over more stuff in a future video, right? Because I know I keep talking about it. It is in the works. It's happening. I'm taking notes and writing things down. I am going to make like a full-on 101 type of reference guide. Excuse me. All inclusive on how to navigate gig work while on an e-bike. So if you guys want to see all that and more, be sure to stick around. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Have I ever dirty stacked? Yes, I have dirty stacked. Now, I hear that phrase a lot, and I do think there's important nuances with dirty stacking, right? I think dirty stacking is inherently risky. You're always risking at least one customer being late because you have to go to a separate merchant in a lot of cases, and you have to go to a separate area in a lot of cases as well. There are times where you can get an order, like let's say you're doing a DoorDash order. It's at a McDonald's. It's going like 2 miles east or something like that. The customer's going 2 miles east or something. And you happen to have DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats on, and Grubhub sends you another order from McDonald's, that very same one. And the other customer is like on the way to the other customer. All you got to do is just go slightly down another street, drop it off, and then go the route, right? You can look at dirty stacking in that sense as comparable to DoorDash sending you an add-on, right? Because sometimes DoorDash will do that too. They'll send you an add-on if you're already at a store or if you're at a nearby store for another customer that is also nearby along the route. When you see that, do you believe, like, would you consider that to be dirty stacking? Or would you consider that just stacking as if it was like an add-on, but it's with a separate app? You know, to me, as long as the orders get dropped off on time and I'm not waiting significant periods of time, which also means the customer's waiting even longer as a result, I wouldn't necessarily call that dirty stacking. Because dirty stacking, to me, that implies like you're doing something scummy. You know what I mean? Like dirty. People don't like dirty things, generally speaking. So I definitely think there are some nuances to explore with a term like dirty stacking. But I can definitely see when dirty stacking actually gets dirty, right? You got one customer, one store on one side of town, another customer with one order, different store, opposite side of town, and you claim both, right? At least one of those customers is going to be late, and it's probably going to be the second one, let's be honest. You're going to make them wait in like an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes and risk a contract violation because you wanted to make an extra $5, $6. I understand why people do that. I do. I'm not saying I agree with it. If you are going to get more than one order from more than one app, I really only advise it if it's along the route of an order you're already dropping off. If and only if. Otherwise, that's not fair, right? A customer's not paying for you to fuck around with their food. But that's just me. Do you consider 2 apps from the same restaurant but different apps a dirty stack? As long as it gets delivered on time and as long as it follows a similar route, not really. I don't think so. If you don't have enough confidence in your own time management and ability to traverse your market to where you can drop the orders off on time, I would say just don't do it. Again, I made the example like opposite sides of town, right? Like you have to go out of your way to get the other customer dropped off. That's bullshit. You shouldn't do that. I understand why people do it, right? I get it. But at the same time, that's not fair to that customer, right? They paid for ice cream, not a milkshake. Because you're going to risk their food getting cold, their food getting warm. If it's like cold food, you get what I'm saying. And the wait time plus the risk to a contract violation, I just don't. It's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. Because look, if you get enough contract violations on any of these apps, you're out. And you can't make money on a platform if you're deactivated. Like, we know that, right? Like, if you're deactivated from Grubhub, you can't make money from Grubhub. If you're deactivated from DoorDash, you can't make money from DoorDash. And unfortunately, there are cases where people do these kinds of dirty stacks, these unethical dirty stacks, and then they get contract violations and then they get deactivated for it. But then they'll go make a video that says, I was deactivated for no reason. Oh, I hate Grubhub. I hate DoorDash. Don't use these apps. They're just going to delete you for no reason at all. But meanwhile, they did something that clearly outlined why they got deactivated. That deactivation for no reason is also bullshit, in my opinion. There's always a reason. Whether or not it's your fault is a different story altogether, but there is always a reason. Dirty Stack, in my opinion, is different restaurants and app. Sure, I mean, that's fine, right? But I'm a nuanced guy. I like exploring, like, where is the line drawn? Where do we cross the line with certain activities based on how they're defined, rather than just, oh well, anything in this threshold is this, therefore it's that. Right. We know that life isn't that simple. So I don't think neither should just these definitions or assumptions of certain practices. Like, again, the example I made, if you're at a restaurant and you have more than one app on and you get more than one order from those apps, and assuming that the orders are ready immediately, or if it's like 2 or 3 minutes and you can get both orders dropped off along the same route, even if they are different apps, I don't necessarily think that's dirty apping or dirty stacking. I don't necessarily call that a dirty stack. But it is risky. That's another thing too. There is always assuming risk with risky decisions. So you are making a risk by choosing to do that. So let's say, for example, I go to McDonald's. I have a DoorDash order at that McDonald's. I go to the McDonald's. I'm in the McDonald's. Grubhub sends me another McDonald's offer from that same restaurant, and the other customer is along the route, right? Maybe they're after the route. Like, let's say the DoorDash customer is closer. Well, I'm going to drop off the DoorDash customer first, right? That just makes sense. Then I would still have enough time to drop off the Grubhub customer on time. But the order's not ready, and then the staff tells me it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes. If that's the case, I'm going to drop the order and just do the DoorDash. Because again, I'm not going to make the DoorDash customer wait for the Grubhub customer. See, I would consider that a dirty stack example. Yeah, that's the exact example that I was saying. I'm not a black and white, all or nothing guy with these topics. I do like exploring examples of when something is, something isn't, the gray area in between. I think that example I made was a good example of that. Plus, when in doubt, you can just play it safe and don't do it, right? You can just play it safe and don't do it. Because as I mentioned before too, if you feel like it would not be worth the risk, and if you don't have enough confidence in your own time management, resourcefulness with taking more than one order from more than one app, then don't do it, right? What's going on, Sonny? Glad to have you. How you doing this morning, Sonny? Yeah, exactly, right? Like, don't take it or just drop it. That's fine. Now, I will describe how I do it too. So, in my area, in my circumstance, DoorDash is the best app in my area, right? And based on me platinum on an e-bike. It's the best app in my arsenal. It's the one that I use the most. It's the one that's the most dependable because they send me the most offers, and most of the offers they send me are actually quite reasonable. So a lot of the time, if I feel like DoorDash is the only one that's actually going to send me offers, I'll just keep DoorDash on, and maybe I'll keep Roadie on in the background, right? Because uh, Roadie is kind of like designed as a dirty stacking app in some ways. Like they're pretty much advertised as along the way, right? So when you think of along the way, do you think of Roadie as the app to do first, or something that you can pick up while or after dropping off someone else's order on a separate app? That's kind of their whole shtick, right? So that's pretty much that. Plus, I do turn on shipped with the schedule. So if I'm sending an offer, the delivery window is like 1 to 2. If I have some leeway, I don't have to do it right away. I can drop off the DoorDash order first, then work on the shipped order, and then pause DoorDash. I might still turn on Grubhub or Uber Eats just to see if they possibly send me anything, but most of the time they don't, or the orders are crap. So it's whatever. If they like if Grubhub is sending me like 4 or 5 consecutive crap orders, then I'm like, you know what, Grubhub, off you go, and then I just leave it at that. Let's see, sunny's good. Just realized there was another storm. Jeez, man. No wonder why Florida's saying that it's gonna pretty much stay cold for the rest of the week. Now, by Florida standards, I know Florida's warmer than pretty much anywhere else, but by Florida standards, it's not exactly. Yeah, it's going to be like in the 50s and 60s all up next week too. Jeez, man. Thanks. And keep in mind too, right? I don't drive a car. I have to ride through the elements. So even if it's not like 20, 30-degree weather, I'm not protected by AC or heat, doors, windows, walls. So it's a little, it's comparable in its own right. It's comparable in its own right. This one will affect Florida with some rain. Well, sure, yeah, but this is only my second year of doing e-bike, so I haven't fully caught on yet. Yeah, exactly, right. Right, exactly. Now, believe it or not, I would actually feel warmer on a mountain bike pedaling because you actually have to use physical assertion. When you use physical assertion, you're raising your internal bodily temperature. So I would actually feel warmer riding a mountain bike in cold weather compared to an e-bike. Because an e-bike, it's ghost pedaling. And ghost pedaling basically just means you can pedal, but there's hardly any physical assertion to it. That's why that's why like an e-bike isn't really something you do if you want to like lose weight or burn calories. All you're really doing is just providing assistance to the pedal assistance, hence the name pedal assist, right? How do you use pedal assist? You pedal to assist. Yes. I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Said every husband out there. No, I'm kidding. No, no husband thing for me. That's okay. But yeah, Sunny, I don't know if you caught my stream earlier, but I was basically going over how I got one of my bikes fully fixed. I know I told you guys in the chat last night, but the actual bike is not the one you've seen in my videos so far. It's the other one I've had. So the next time I make a vlog, that'll be the first time that you guys see that bike. So that was the one that I was able to get fixed. I'm still waiting back on G-Force to get the G-Force bike fixed. I just need a new motor. That's all it needs, right? It just needs a new motor. If I get the motor, and I think they'll honor it for me. They've honored some good stuff for me before. I think they'll do it too. Assuming they do that and it's still under warranty, which it is still under warranty, then I should be good. It'll just take some time, and that's okay. I mean, hopefully they like priority mail it. I know they did that with the battery. I like them to do the same thing for this too, especially for them making me wait. Right? It's been almost 6 days since I messaged them. I mean, I know with the holidays they're probably behind, but still, right? Answer me, damn it! Yeah, it's been a message them on the first, so yeah, it's pretty much coming up a week. That's okay. I'm sure I'll hear back from them. I also contacted the direct website for them too. And it's all good. You're here now. That's all that counts. Let's see, did I start? Yeah, okay, I did start them. Good. And let's see, what is Sunny's sub count up to this morning? I know it was 491 last night. So you're pretty much like, that's basically striking distance of 500. That's basically striking distance. All right, Sunny Cornsicles is still at 491. Come on, people. We got to get Sunny up to 500, man. 500. 500. I'm going to link it in the chat. Let's get Sunny. I'm not going to put it in all caps. Let's get Sunny Cornsicles to 500 subs. Bam. There we go. So if you guys want to sub to Sunny, our link's in the chat. Yeah, I think there's only 3 people right now, and I'm sure you guys have already done it. But still, right? For anyone that's new here, for anyone that is just browsing, who has never seen my channel before, which is always a possibility, I would hope. Yes, sub to Sunny. It might not be Sunny Sub Monday anymore, but it doesn't mean we can't get Sunny to 500. Don't really like customer service that only has email. Yeah, me neither. Because sometimes they can just take their sweet frickin' time to get back. Even though I did highlight this as urgent. But 6 days later, that's urgent for you. But I digress. Because last I checked, they don't have a phone number. Otherwise, I would call them, which I don't love doing either, but hey, right? Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, no phone number. It's just email. That's a poopy doopy. That is mega, super, ultra, mega poopy doopy. Oh well, it's okay. I'll just send them another email. Let's see. Reader hub motor replacement on Amazon. Sent photographic evidence of the issue, but I have not heard back yet. This is also my second email on the company's official website. And this is an urgent issue. So please respond back as quickly as possible. Thank you. Okay, cool. Second email on the company website and the 6th consecutive message on Amazon's website. Yeah, honestly, they're basically just going to say, oh, fuck it, just send this guy his motor already. If they do that, that'd be awesome. But I digress. I digress yet again. Bad customer service. Yes, I agree. What's going on, Star? Glad to have you. Glad to have you indeed. I don't think you caught the stream earlier, but I was going over how I got my other bike fixed and back on the road. So not the one that you've seen in my videos thus far. It's the other one I have, because I do have 2 e-bikes. The one that you guys have seen in my videos, G-Force T7, which I'm still waiting back on the manufacturer for, which I was emailing again. But the other bike that you guys haven't seen yet, that you will be seeing in future installments of work vlogs on my channel, is the Iora Juliet. And it was pretty much the same problem. I needed a new motor because the motor spun out. But I also needed to get some bicycle spokes so I can lace the motor with more stability, or otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be as stable, be prone to more breakage, which is no bueno, which could also warp the shape of the rim. If you warp the shape of the rim, well, guess what? You got to get a new rim, which is also no bueno. So better safe than sorry, as they say in Canada, which is the land of the Canadians. Better safe than sorry. I'm not Canadian, by the way. 106. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. 106. Let's show it on the screen. Because the burning question is, can I get to 200 by the end of the month? Can I get to 200? What do we got here? Okay, Rody sent me an offer, $8, 3 miles. That's not too bad, but it's in Cocoa. So basically, I got to drive 10 miles down to Cocoa. Well, ride 10 miles down to Cocoa. And then go 3 miles to commute for the order. So what is that? $8 for 13 miles, not including the trip back home? No. No bueno. Very, very no bueno. And it looks like Valentine Cruises has a new video. Nice. I'll check that out in a hot minute. And then let's see. Here's the sub count. We're at 106, boy. Let's go. 106. Can we reach 200 by January 31st? Do you guys think we can do it? Let me know in the comment section down below while I'm at it. Let's get a poll in the chat. I keep forgetting. I got to put the poll before I stream. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Let's put a poll in the chat. Can we get to 200 by the end of January? That'd be heckin' dope. Am I right? Just let me know in the comment section down below. Can we get to 200 subs by January 31st? Heck yes, fam. Or probably not, but you'll get there. There we go. Poll in the chat. Feel free to vote. Let's see. Can we get to 200 by January 31st? That is 25 days from now. So in order to make that happen, we need an average of 4 subs per day, which has happened, right? When Chuck made that guest feature, I immediately got 15 overnight. Then I got like another 5, 10 like per day afterwards as well. It has slowed down a bit. And that's fine, man, right? Peaks and valleys, but it's trending up. The upward trend es muy importante. It's muy importante. That is Portuguese for it better happen because it's high priority. High priority like the high pay orders that DoorDash claims to send, or Uber Eats. Yeah, that order is poopy doopy for sure. $8, pretty much 13 miles, even though it says only 3, but I have to already be in the area to get the 8 for 3. No! Yes, and yes. I think we can do it. 4 subs per day on average, and we can hit 200. And why 4? That way we got a little bit left over because YouTube loves stealing subs away. They love doing that. I have no idea why. It's so weird, right? Like you'll reach 100, but then they'll knock you down to like 97, 98 the next day. But then they'll hop then you'll go right back up to 100 the next day. And then you'll go up to 105 and then down to 102. Then you'll go up to 106. And you know, the snatching away is kind of dumb, but hey, it's trending up, right? The upward trend. It's like when you invest in a crypto coin, or you invest in like a stock, an ETF, anything in the stock market, right? Peaks and valleys. but is it trending up or is it trending down? That's the important part. Ah, there's my buddy Olf. Bye, brother. Just stop by. Well, thanks for stopping by, dude. Thanks for stopping by. And you working out today? I don't know if you got your I don't know if you got your what was it, the storage that you needed? You need some more storage so you can send some footage again. So whenever you get that, dude, you can still send me stuff and I'll assess your form and technique and whether or not I think you're ready to make certain progressions with the exercise. So just let me know, dude. Always wonder how many people actually unsub, or is it all YouTube taking subs away? That's a good question too. It could be a combination of the two. There's another thing too, right? If you create like a bunch of accounts on one, I think it's one account, or it could be one IP address. I think YouTube can also take subs away that way as well. Because if it's all being traced to the same IP, then YouTube will acknowledge it's the same person, or at least they'll assume it's the same person, so they might only count it as one. That I think that's what happened with another guy that I subscribe to. His name's Vegan Dragon. He's another buddy of mine. He's a friend of Wolf's as well. And you know, he streams like Pokemon and stuff like that on his channel, and he does like travel vlogs, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I have like several accounts that I have as alts, right? I have this channel, I have Plug in the Mic, my music channel, I've got my main channel, Michael Tunney. I got another one that's in the works as well, separate topic from this channel. And I subbed to him with all of them. But then today, this morning, he went back down to the same number that he was yesterday. So I'm assuming that YouTube will take away subs if you have more than one account that is traced to the same IP. I think that is, right? I need to do some more exploring, unless someone already knows that part. But I think that's how YouTube operates now too. I think if you create a bunch of accounts and then sub to people, it will still only count as one once they find out it's from the same IP. I could be wrong on that one, but that seems a little more than coincidence that he would go up by 3 or 4 and then go back down the same number the next day, right? That's a little more than a coincidence, in my opinion. Yeah, I did this morning. They're all subbed to him still, right? They're all subbed to him, but yet he's back down to the same number, the same exact number too. He was at 791, I think. No, he was at 792. Then he bumped up to like 795, but then he bumped down immediately to 792 when I woke up this morning, went on his live stream. So again, like that can't be a coincidence. That can't be. Yeah. Because I was doing that too with your channel. I was doing that with Mary. I was doing that with Matthew Fields, where I was taking my several accounts, subbing to everyone, and in the moment, it would count towards different subscription numbers, right? But I think it would reset after that. So I think that's what's going on. Again, that can't be coincidence, right? It goes up the same number, goes down the same number. That cannot be coincidence. Now, it's important to note, too, I don't have a whole lot of concrete evidence to say it's absolute fact. So I'm trying to use correlation to figure it out. You know what I mean? Plus, if I check the accounts, they're all still subbed to the people that I subscribe to, where it would initially count the subscription. So that's my theory anyway. That's my theory, is that YouTube traces the IP and assumes it's from the same person because it's also under the same email too, right? It's under the same account. So therefore, it would not be counted once all is said and done. Because these accounts that I have, they're all part of the same email. Because you can make more than one account with the same email, right? So if you make one channel, like how I did, I've got a main channel, and then I eventually branched off to Mike the Bike Dasher as a separate channel. And then I have my music channel. I've got another channel in the works. that's all on the same account. So ultimately, I think YouTube just didn't count their subscriptions once they found out, well, hey, it's all from the same account, the same IP. If that sounds confusing, just rewind this live stream. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Cool beans, all. I mean, yeah, like I pretty much trust your judgment when it comes to being able to program and, call the shots, make a final decision upon collecting information, upon collecting different perspectives from people. But I'll still look at your stuff. I'll still look at your stuff. And you have if you have uncertainties about how you're performing the exercise as intended, you need an extra keen eye to be like, oh, well, you can tweak your hips right here. You can, change your elbow position here, blah, blah, blah. I'm always there for you, man. For the uninitiated, my buddy Ulf right here, I was helping him with coaching, like exercise, fitness stuff, right? Because he wants to get big, he wants to get swole, be jacked, all that good stuff. I was helping him out with that. I used to do that as a part-time gig, right? I actually got an official certification from NASA, National Academy of Sports Medicine, to be a certified personal trainer. I did that for about 3 years. And I was just no longer interested in doing it officially after a while, so I just stopped doing it. But I was still helping a friend out. And he definitely made some good progress. He lost a ton of weight. He's gotten pretty strong with his exercises. He's getting swole. And pretty much he got to a point where it's like, well, you know what, dude? You don't need me anymore, other than like, hey, you need a friend to ask 2 cents on, double check some stuff. But otherwise, you are largely in the pilot seat now, right? Because you've gotten to that point where I can trust you with that, where you can trust yourself with that. But of course, just because you're in that position doesn't mean stop exploring, doesn't mean stop asking questions, getting perspective, getting 2 cents from other people. Right. Strongly encourage that. Plus, it's not like, well, I'm done with you. Get out of my life. It's like, no. No, you could always come back to me about that. Man, you're the man, Ulf. Looking good. Making really good gains and progress. You're going to keep going, man. That reminds me of that meme that I made on the prop death video that I made on my other channel almost 2 years ago now. Can't believe it's been that long. When I walked up to the door, and it's like, if I hear that in the comments, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go through this door because you, sir, are out of here. Man, that never gets old. Get out. That reminds me of that movie, Get Out. Did you guys see that movie? The Get Out film, that horror movie? It's like a comedy horror movie from Jordan Peele. So let us know in the comment section down below. I thought the movie was okay. I didn't love it. I thought it was way overhyped. But that's just me. Time flies, man. I was supposed to go. Yeah, time does fly, man. Yeah, it's going on 2 years since I met you, man. And I'm glad I did. Met some colorful characters with my journey on YouTube. And Ulf is no exception. Yeah, I'm pretty certain Kane was the one that was doing the Sabian account. That's cool though, man. That's cool. I don't mind him fucking around because he regularly supports this channel too. And we've developed a lot of in jokes from previous experiences on this channel or not on this channel. So some people are like, "What are you talking about? I have no idea." It's okay. You don't need to. It's okay. Good sport. Yes. Hey, you said LOLs the way I say it. Nice. Yeah, like I'm pretty good at being able to tell when a fellow friend of mine is doing like a troll account versus when it's like an actual troll that is from someone that would troll me in the past. And it's still funny anyway. It's funny, right? And it helps the algorithm, right? You clicked, you gave it a view, you're contributing to the public watch hours, and I don't give a flying fuck. Right. I don't like getting myself wrapped up in just petty bullshit drama or being involved with people that are known for petty bullshit drama either. Plus, I'm more of an outskirts guy, I guess. Like, I can be a part of a community, but I'm always kind of like the backbone guy that's on the outside that doesn't necessarily want the spotlight all the time or really all. But yeah, that's just me. And that is only a slight summary of my unorthodox yet interesting way of how I navigate this world. Let's see, Rody sent me an offer. It is $38. There's 11 deliveries, and it's from Merritt Island to Cape Canaveral, which is at least 30 miles away from here. And it's going 27 miles for the total trip. It's a looks like Walmart. Yeah, it's Walmart curbside pickup. I mean, right off the bat, that's not even $2 a mile. Plus, they say it would. They say it's going to take 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that's not even $20 an hour, right? You got to go 11 stops. It's not even $20 an hour, and it's not even $2 a mile for the total trip. And I have to go 30 miles out of my way to get to the store. So that's more like $38 for like almost 60 miles. And considering the trip there, that's at least like 3 hours, give or take. So that's not even $13 an hour. Damn. Yeah, that's very no bueno. Very no bueno indeed. And there's another drop off at the same store too. It's $6.54. Walmart. It's one order, but it's going 5 miles. No. No, thank you. No, thank you indeed. All right, looks like Ulf does have to go this time. All right, take care, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, I think I'll wrap up probably maybe about an hour from now, give or take. Like to get on the road by noon or so. I mean, I'm not really working as much or as long today because it's pretty heckin' chilly, at least by Florida standards. Anyway, it's pretty heckin' chilly today. Yeah, they say it's not even going to get to 50. It's like 54 is going to be the high. If on a bike, right? Remember that on a bike. And looks like Friday is going to be the warmest day. High 67, the low is 58. That's not too bad. That's actually pretty nice. And tomorrow is going to get up to 61, but the low is going to be 38. No bueno. But the 61 is not too bad. If only it was 69, though. Am I right? If only it was 69. Then it's going to go back down to 53 on the high for Thursday, 40 on the low. So also not, that's a little poopy doopy. Saturday, okay, it looks like Saturday's going to be a little warmer too. It looks like it'll be 67 high with 44 on the low. And they're saying there's a 40% chance of light rain showers. Huh. Interesting. And then it looks like Sunday, 62 high, 38 low. Monday, 63 high, 42 low. And then throughout the week, largely bouncing between mid 50s on high, low 60s on high, and then 30s and 40s and low. I got you. So, yeah, maybe not the coziest weather. Well, maybe cozy. I don't know. If you got the heat on. Maybe in that sense it'll be cozy. But as far as e-biking weather, yeah, not the best. But I'll make do. I will make do. Right. If I can do a large grocery order on a mountain bike, you're goddamn right I'm determined to make things do. I'll even do it again if I have to. I'll even do it again. It's like that one meme with the retarded looking Goofy. It's like, I'll fucking do it again. That's pretty much me, except I'll have to make like a really stupid face. I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, looks like me. Cool. Yeah, I haven't had this bike on the road since August, and I'm glad I've got it running again, period. I took it for a test ride last night to make sure it works, period. It's not perfect, and I need to tune up some areas, but it's good for now, period. The front wheel axle was a little rattly, so I used a cone wrench to tighten it up a bit, maybe that will help with that, period. The rear wheel is also not perfectly straight, given the fact the other bicycle spokes were 1 millimeter off, but I will use them for the time being until I get the manufacturer bicycle spokes. Period. Period? I meant to say period. Period. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool. All right, cool. All right. I got to use the bathroom real quick. I got to tinkle. So I will put the break card for now. And looks like barely anyone's here yet. That's okay. Right? I know a lot of people are getting busy for the day. Maybe still waking up. I don't know. But I got to tinkle. I'll be right back. The time card, it's got some music. It's not copyright. It's just a jam session I had with a buddy of mine, so don't worry about that. And it also advertises, or should I say plugs in, my link tree. So if you guys haven't visited my link tree yet, that's a great way to show super support for your boy, where he's got resources where he can help you out, resource to help me out, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. Cue the Seinfeld meme, cue the music. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I'm feeling good. Feeling much better. Always feels good after you do a little tinky winky. Yeah, where's everybody at this morning? You guys awake? You guys out working? Let me know in the comment section down below. As far as the poll, looks like 3 people voted, and 100% of those votes said, heck yes, fam. As far as us reaching 200 subs by January 31st. I mean, we're only 94 away, man. That's not too bad, right? That's over halfway there. We're over halfway there. So I think we can pull it off. Just keep in mind, too, right? I barely signed up a little over a month ago, and I only put out my first video on, what was it, day after Thanksgiving? Was it day after or day before? So that's barely a month. Like, that's barely like a month and a week. So for us to have gotten to this point already, right? That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Yeah, November 29th. That was November 29th. Was that Black Friday? Yeah, that was Black Friday. Okay, cool. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff indeed. And I guess while I'm at it, let's get a shareable link for that. And I think okay, yeah, today's live stream's in here too. All right. Curious about that as well. All right. A little over 3 watch hours. I mean, we haven't been streaming that long, plus not too many people online right now. That's okay. So I got the link for that. So if you all want to do your boy a favor, I have a full playlist of my live streams. Right? Every live stream that I've done that is, well, every live stream that wasn't unlisted, because I did unlist my first live stream, but that aside, playlist of my currently listed live streams. If you guys feel like running it in the background on your computer, help your boy rack up them public watch hours, that'd be much appreciado, which is Japanese for thank you very much for helping support this channel. Let's see. Public watch hours. So there we go. So if you guys want to take that link, just run it in the background, help your boy rack up them public watch hours with the live stream playlist. Man, that'd be awesome. I definitely appreciate it. And I will link my other one as well, the pre-recorded content. Pre-recorded full playlist public watch hours. So there we go. Here's another one as well. I put a 9 instead of parentheses, but oh well, that's okay. But yeah, that's my other playlist for the pre-recorded content. If you want to run that playlist in the background as well, help your boy get them public watch hours, that'd be great as well. And then last but not least, my journey through 69 Recovery Road. I have that playlist as well. Now I do have, like I said, that pre-recorded playlist is every pre-recorded video I've made thus far that is public on the channel. This other playlist is specifically the 69 Recovery Road for anyone that's interested to looking back on how I traversed this journey, recovering from an injury while still working. This one can also help your boy with public watch hours if you feel like running in the background. Watching you and Eric, so sorry if I'm not too chatty. Well, it's okay. I'm sure some other people will pop in too. I mean, we got time. We good. We got time. think my buddy was sending me some stuff. What do we got? Dumbbell shoulder press, 4 sets, 5 to 8, for 22.5 kilograms. And incline dumbbell row. Ooh, he's talking about supersetting these. Interesting. Yeah, Sunny's lurking. She's watching Eric as well. That's cool. Which, by the way, what's going on? Tate. Glad to have you. Actually, that's a pretty good idea, period. I used to superset dumbbell rows and dumbbell bench press. Since you are working antagonist muscle groups from agonist muscle groups, such as chest and back, period. Makes perfect sense. As long as it doesn't impede your recovery from either exercise, period. It's time effective as well, period. There you go, buddy. Let's see. Yes, Charles, I'm here. Just saw your comment on my video. Yeah, you got a sub. We'll try and get a couple more from work if I can. Nice. Speaking of sub, are you sub to my channel? Because we are on the road to 200 subscribers by January 31st. We're already over halfway there, man. We're at 106. Will you be 107 if you are not already? And let's get Sunny to 500 too. I started in the comments. You want to sub to Sunny? It is Sunny Sub Tuesday. Every day is Sunny Sub. Am I right? Let's get Sunny to 500. Because YouTube is being so goddamn stubborn, getting her to 500. We're basically just taking matters into our own hands right now. We're basically like, hey, let's all band together. Let's get Sunny to 500. Can we do it? I think we can. You know why? Because Stone Cold said so. Remember to hydrate, everybody. Drink your water. If you're feeling tired, lacking energy, got a headache, you're probably just thirsty. Oh, of course. I mean, I know Nicole. She's already got me on her her Nightbot. Mary's got me on her Nightbot. Sunny's got me on her Nightbot. That's awesome. Definitely appreciate it, guys. Right. What goes around comes around. If love is going around, it's coming right back around. Am I right? Yes, we can. And Mike the sub to get him to 200. 200. I think we could pull it off. Come on, people. I think we can do it. I mean, again, we're already over halfway there. That's freaking awesome. That is heckin' dope. Am I right? You guys think it's heckin' dope too? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you guys are here too, if you haven't voted in the poll, can we get to 200 by January 31st? Vote in the poll right now. Because if you don't do it right now, I will break into your home and unbutter your... No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to unbutter your corn. I will break into your home too. I might ring the doorbell and be like, hey, remember me? Do you remember me? The guy who said he will unbutter your corn. The corn that you have buttered that is on your plate. I will take it off. That way it creates a mild inconvenience that you have to re-butter the corn. And then you might think, is that it? And then I'd be all like, well, I didn't think I'd get this far. So yeah, sure. Bye. But I digress. By the way, Charles, what are you up to today? What do you have on your agenda? Let us know in the comment section down below. Oh, come on, Sonny. It's not just dope. It is heckin' dope. Am I right? Oh, yeah. Heckin' dope. Let's see. Okay, just try and see. Nice, no neutral grip on my row since I do that a lot since more about lats, right? Um, it's more about the elbow position than the type of grip, comma, although there can be some correlation with grip positioning versus elbow positioning. You can try rowing with a pronated grip, comma, or a half pronated grip, comma, and pulling with your elbows higher up for more traps, period. Working today, my day job. Nice. Well, hope your day goes well, Mr. Charles, at your day job. Once your day job's over, what do you have planned after that? You gonna chill out for the rest of the night, the rest of the evening? Gonna go out for some DoorDash and all that stuff? Feel free to share it with us in the comment section down below. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Not just any heckin' dope either. HEKKIN dope. That's how we roll. Heckin' dope. Plus, my buddy Ulf, he's the guy that provides a lot of AI artwork for my videos, including the one in the background right here. He gave me some artwork specifically for a lot of my catchphrases like heckin' dope or stick around, which is an exaggerated version of what Arnold said in that one movie, and other stuff like that. Couple hours of DoorDash. Heck yeah, man. Hope that goes well for you. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Sonny. Heckin' dope. And spelling it like that is heckin' dope too, man. Because that's just how we roll. And we roll on two wheels on a bicycle. Or if you got a trike, that's cool too. Trikes are nice. And they're even coming out with some more electric tricycles, and looks like they're starting to get cheaper too. So I went on Amazon. I think it was around like 1,300. I think. I mean, for an e-tricycle, that's pretty reasonable. Oh yeah, here's another one. It's got a smaller battery. I'll present the screen. Got no pornographic images to hide. Well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But that's for me to know and for you to find out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, looks like we got $739 free delivery, and what we got 350 watt. So that would probably get what, about maybe 18, slightly under 20 miles an hour. 374 watt hours. That's about, how many amp hours is that? That is, I think that's about 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's around 8 amp hours. Okay, so up to, why does it say up to 30 plus? I don't like when these companies make claims like that. Up to 30 plus, that, why not just say the theoretical maximum and say up to that instead of 30 plus, right? It probably won't go past 30, let's be honest. 40 miles in PAS mode. So what the hell is this? Is this throttle? There's no way. 8 amp hours, there's no way that's going to get 30 with throttle. No way. Because keep in mind too, right? These kinds of bikes are heavier than dual wheel electric bikes. Pretty nice though. Can't see the screen too well in vertical mode. Yeah, I tried to zoom in a little bit to help with that. So yeah, maybe that helps. Maybe that helps a bit more. But yeah, here's the tricycle itself. It's pretty nice. Costs under 800. That's probably the lowest I've ever seen an electric tricycle. And I got some other ones here too. Oh, wow, this one's even lower. Okay. Yeah, this one's even lower. I didn't see this one before. And okay, here we go. Here's another one. It's 1450. This is the long range one, I think. It's only got a 13 amp hour battery though. I mean, that would get what, probably about 40, 45 miles realistically. It says up to 50. Okay. And all right, 750-watt motor, peaking 1350. Yeah, that whole peaking claim is ridiculous, right? The only time that would theoretically ever happen is if you were like going uphill, like on a what, probably like a 20% incline, like a 20 grade incline maybe. But yeah, it's pretty nice too. I like that seat. That's a nice seat. That's got a suspension seat post. That's neat. Yeah, for anyone that is looking for more comfort on their bicycle, just put a suspension seat post. If you have like rear suspension on the back of the frame, that's usually enough to get the job done as long as you got a comfortable seat. But if you don't have that, then a suspension seat post would get the job done just fine. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Muy interesting. Yeah, it says the peak is still going to be... All right, it's up to 45 over here now. What's temperature like over by you guys? Let us know in the comment section down below. Yeah, it is a nice trike. I know the brand Vic Trip, they used to make trikes. I don't know if they still do. I'm curious. And specifically that brand, Vic Trip's a pretty good brand. I actually had one of their bikes before. It was called the Vic Trip Titan. It was another one of those long range bikes. It's not as long range as the bikes I have now. They have the largest possible batteries for a commercial e-bike. At least easily accessible commercial e-bike. They're not exactly the most fuel efficient, I would say, but just by sheer size of the battery, they do get pretty good range. Because that's another caveat with these types of bikes, right? E-bikes, is just because a battery claims to be a certain capacity and voltage doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to have the same theoretical range. There's all kinds of other semantics with fuel economy when it comes to batteries. Like one 30 amp hour battery can claim to have a 100-mile range with most favorable conditions, while another one can theoretically only get up to 80. Well, why is that, right? A lot of it can do with the electric components. It could do with the PAS controls, the dashboard, the amp current. So that's another important thing too, is amp current. Is it a higher current? Is it a lower current? The amp current on my G-Force bike is a little lower. Yeah, it's a little lower. I think it gets up to 22 amps compared to the Iota Juliet, which gets up to 28, if I'm not mistaken, which means that there's just more overall amp current, which means it could be more or less fuel efficiency with bikes, even though they had the same size battery with the same capacity and voltage. So if that sounds confusing, just rewind the live stream. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that was a pretty nice bike, the Vic Trip Titan. But yeah, do they make trikes anymore? They did at one point. I don't know if they... Yeah, they got some other foldable bikes here, but they're not tricycles. Yeah, there was another one they had at one point. What happened to it? Maybe they're just not in stock anymore. Yeah, they still got the Vic Trip Titan. Yeah, they still got that one. Oh, they got the step through one now. Huh, that's neat. Yeah, I was about to say I would imagine they'd have this one still. Like, this one's the bestseller. It was a nice bike, but I needed an upgrade. That's why I sold it. Hence the bikes that I have now. It's a shame that upgrading my bikes also came with their fair share of technical issues, but that's okay. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, a lot of my DIY experience with bikes comes from a lot of my own hiccups with these bikes. But that's okay. That is okay. Because it's either that or I pay out the wazoo for someone else to fix it and do a half-ass job when I can just learn how to do it myself. Which might be a little more frustrating and have a large learning curve in the moment, but can be more rewarding later on. But as I always say, I digress. All right, let's see. Who is live now? I see Kelly's live. Okay. I will throw some corn cobs and lick the video. There we go. And for anyone that wants to stop over to Kelly's channel, Daisy May, and say hello, I will link that in the chat as well. So, right here. If you all want to say hi to Daisy May, aka Kelly, go right ahead. I throw her some corn cobs. Oh, I actually have the wrench. Okay, cool. So I can actually give her 69 corn cobs. Happy Tuesday. You working today? Yep. Streaming at the moment too. Cool. Me too. Instead of vacation and beach treasure hunting, I made a pun earlier. Vacorntion. If it's a pun and I can add corn to it, that's how I roll. And it looks like Nina uploaded a video earlier. Walmart Spark Ride Along episode 78. Tip baits, long waits, and wrong house. Ooh, spicy. Spicy indeed. I will add that to my watch list, my watch later list. And I will check that out. Maybe I'll put some corn cobs in her corn section. Some other guy, Travel JB, is also live. And he's dressing up like a clown. Is that foreshadowing, perhaps? No, I'm kidding. I'll give him some corn cobs, too. So if you guys want to head over to Travel JB's channel, since he's live right now, you can do that, too. Not overly familiar with him, but I've seen him in my feed. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll comment. I'll put myself out there. Me and my corn cobs and all. And maybe that'll get some people over to my channel too. Who knows? So check out Travel JB. Plus, it seems like a lot of people note my channel for the name, Mike the Bike Dasher. Seems to create a lot of intrigue. So that's not humble bragging or anything. That's me observing, right? I want to pick out a name that is it clearly defines what the channel's for, right? And whether or not people think the name's cool, well, that's up to you. Yeah, look at that. We're up to 107. Let's scroll in. So we're pretty much up by 2 today as well. Nice. All right. And Kelly said that she subbed, so that's heckin' dope. Thank you for subbing, Kelly. Much appreciado. Much appreciado indeed. Because you are helping me on my journey to 200 subs by the end of the month. And we got 93 to go. Let's do it, boy. Plus, along the way, I'm trying to get some other people up there too, such as Sunny, getting Sunny up to 500, which I think is entirely possible. If YouTube stops screwing around, well, they'll probably keep screwing around. But hey, right? Upward trend. Let's go. Let's do it, boy. Let's get Sunny to 500. And let's get me to 200. Does that sound reasonable? I don't know. You'll let me know in the comment section down below. Let's see. Thank you. And I gave Kelly a corn cob. Good stuff. And what was that? Nature Dog Realms. I'll give them a corn cob as well. Nice. And what do we got? We got Hubby. Hubby's in the chat. What's going on, Hubby? How you doing today? You and the wifey, you going out? You're going to be working, doing another Uber Eats challenge? Let us know in the comment section down below what you're up to today. As for your boy, he got one of his bikes fixed up, back on the road, ready to go, and we're going to be working, even though it's a little chilly out. But hey, that's okay, right? Got to do what you got to do. Let's see. Okay, it's meant to complement the other stuff I do, so I don't need to do it. Exactly. Good stuff, Wolf. Oh man, I got an office job, 8 to 5, then the fun afterwards. All right. Well, going through that Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 8 to 5 grind, and then having some fun later. Good stuff. Speaking of which, Valentine Cruises. Let's pop up the wifey, right? Oh, look at that, wifey. Let's present share screen. Wifey is up to 76. Heck yeah, man. That is heckin' dope. Am I right? Heckin' dope. Look at all these videos she's got. Look at all the live streamings that she's been doing. She's got a cute lizard as well. You want to check out Valentine Cruises. You want to cruise with Valentine and everyone else. Let's get Valentine Cruises up to 100. To 100 subs. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on. Let's do it. We got to get me to 200 by the end of the month. We got to get Valentine Cruises up to 100. And we got to get Sunny to 500. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Oh, you got a video coming out on your channel too? Heck yeah, man. Looking forward to it. I'll be sure to ring that Taco Bell. That way I get notified when hubby uploads. Plus, I subscribe to the channel and rang that Taco Bell, so I will definitely get notified the next time that hubby uploads. Let's see. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yep, 76. Only 24 more to go, Valentine. Good stuff. Yeah, boy. Let's go. Nice. I got so addicted to YouTube, gang, and all this. I love it. Good stuff, man. It's good stuff indeed. I agree. Haven't had time to go watch Valerie's new channel. Well, go watch Valerie's new channel. Let's do it. Remember having such a hard time editing my first video. I tried many different editing software. Never edited before that. Well, lucky for me, I guess, I took editing in high school. So when I was in 9th grade, I heard of this class. It was called like TV production, video production. It went by a couple different names, and I was just really intrigued by that. It's like, ooh, they have classes where I can actually go behind the scenes with how they do things with videos and movies. I thought that was really cool. So I requested that to be my one of my electives for 10th grade, and I got it. I was approved for that, and I took the class in 10th grade. I absolutely loved it. It was so cool. It was also very enlightening, right? Because the thing too is, in order to know what goes on behind the scenes, that also means how the finished product looks is also spoiled, and that is especially noteworthy with CGI, right? Like I can remember a lot of movies I've watched fondly that had CGI in them and being like, wow, that is so cool. That looks amazing. And like pretty colors, action. And then to see how it's traced, how it's outlined, how it's done, and to be like, oh, so now I know. And ooh, suddenly it feels less magical. At least the shaky looking stuff. So it came with some necessary sacrifices to be enlightened, let's just say. But the actual like editing videos, learning how to edit, adding special effects was really cool. I loved it. It was great. And then we had these rotations from the different parts of the classroom. There was three main sections, right? You had the editing room, which is where all the computers were, and right next to it you had sound booth rooms. There were two of them. And then the next section was that was the control room, right? That's where all the control panels for audio, for the visual cues, cueing talent, all of that stuff, the technical jargon that goes on behind studio productions is in that room. It's in that room. It's got soundproof glass. And then you have the actual room where the talent, aka the person that stands in front of the camera, the talent with the green screens, the sets, all of that stuff. So during these classes, we would periodically throughout the year cycle through all three of those rooms to get the gist of all three of those different processes with everything, which was freaking dope, man. That was heckin' dope. I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much, I had to take the class again for 11th grade. Still loved it even more. And then in 12th grade, it went up to 4 levels, by the way. In 12th grade, I took 3 and 4. So I managed to stack 4 classes, 4 years into just 3 throughout high school because I absolutely loved the class. And man, those are some of my fondest memories in high school for sure, man. Just editing, working in studio, being on the freaking network for the school and actually like televising was freaking awesome. I loved it. And then like I had to take it in college too. So when I was taking dual enrollment in high school for a couple of years, so I managed to get a fifth of the college credits I needed for community college. That gave me a slight head start. I still had credits left over for electives for the community college I went to, and I used some of those electives to take video production again. And that's when I learned how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. I don't use it anymore, but I was using it back then. And it was what's the it was more like a freestyle class, I guess, which in a lot of ways was cool because I built that foundation in high school to where I can just take something out of the classroom and film wherever the hell I felt like and with whoever I felt like, as long as the projects were, completed, they looked good, they sounded good, and were on time, right? So I have lots of fond memories with that too. I made a couple really dumb short films with buddies of mine. Another one of them was called Zombie College, one word, Zombie College. And oh man, that was probably my favorite video project I ever worked on. It was so stupid. It was supposed to be like, we're at the school, this is virus breakout. I'm the first one to get infected. And then I basically turned into a zombie. The problem, we were supposed to have a bunch of zombies, and we actually made like, we had makeup, we made fake blood that tasted like it was like sweet and edible, but it was fake blood and it looked like blood. We were supposed to have a bunch of people be zombies. We only had 2 maybe 3 max, and I was the one most prominent zombie. And like the dialogue, the improv, there was no real script, right? We were just winging it. It was just it was so bad, but I love it. I still have it. And every now and again I think about it. I actually watched it on my other channel. I live streamed it too. And just looking back fondly, being like, nostalgia, because that this was 11 years ago. By the way, this was almost 11 years ago when I filmed it. I freaking loved it, even though it was so bad. And then another one was called Druggy Maru. It was supposed to be about this like this drug cartel with like a smiley face and stuff and a mask. And like I was playing as like an underground, as like a not underground, undercover detective who was trying to work for this guy to get, secret intel and then pass it on to my partner. That way we can take the guy out because he killed my partner's sister. So there was a bit of a vengeance type of thing, like Taken, like, I will find you, I will pursue you, and I will kill you, It was something like that. That one was so boring. It was so unbelievably boring. It was actually scripted too, but it was primarily the other guy that was working on the script, and he did a lot of like off-site filming for it, and it made no goddamn sense. And some of the scenes were really stupid. So I don't look upon that one as fondly, but the Zombie College one, absolutely loved it, despite how absolutely dumb it is. Fond memories. And I made some other film projects too during those classes, and overall just had a really good time. And even though I had a lot of on and offs with it, when I officially came back to YouTube and stayed on YouTube around 2023, that's when I started to reestablish a lot of those skills and assets I learned from those classes. And that has since translated to the type of content that you guys see on my channel. So that's where a lot of that comes from. So good old times, am I right? Sent my first edited video to Chuck. Nice. Wife not letting me post it all, just about 2 hours. She wanted me to trim it down to 15, 20 minutes. My reaction was like, it's a long story, but I see how it works. Yeah, part 1, part 2, that's a good idea. More action instead of storyline at the start. Hey, whatever entices people to watch the video, Have a meeting. All right, so you got to head out. Take care, hubby. Glad to see you. Glad you stopped by. But everything in editing was so much different. I missed those times so much. Yeah. I missed them too. Yeah, these days I use CapCut just because, well, they had a free version. I still use the free version. My big gripe with it though is they had a lot of features that used to be free. Now they're putting it behind the paywall, and the paywall keeps going up. Right? At one point it was $7.99 a month for CapCut. When it was only $7.99, I was like, screw it, I'll pay for it. That's fine. Then they bumped it up to $9.99. Then they bumped it up to $11.99. I think now it's like, I think it's around $20 mark now. So they basically doubled it since. It's like, and like noise reduction, extract audio, other functions that used to be free is stuck behind the paywall now, which is bogus. It's like, why was it ever free to begin with? And again, like, I don't terribly mind that they're trying to make their money, right? I don't terribly mind that. The problem I have is they just keep raising the price. You pay $10.99. Yeah, when I looked at mine, it was $17.99 last I looked. See what? So now they're charging different people different numbers. That's retarded. Jeez, man. Yeah, I'll show you. Let me share it on screen. So I opened up my CapCut because I'm curious to see how much it costs now. And it's even more now than it was before. Yeah, look at this. It's $19.99 a month now. What the heck, man? I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not unreasonable because it is a good editing software. But come on, I used to only pay $7.99 then they bumped it to $9.99, then they bumped it to $11.99, and then it was like 18, and now it's 20. What the fuck? Like, Christ almighty, man. Look at that. I can't like zoom in, so I don't know if you can see it exactly, but right here, right, $19.99. That's ridiculous. They are overcharging you. That's not right. Yeah, they are. They are certainly doing that. And again, there were features like extract audio and noise reduction that used to be free, but now I have to pay for the premium to get those features. It used to be free. So pretty much, like, if I wanted to reduce the noise in my videos, I have to pay $20 a month to reduce noise. Yeah, double check that. It might have gone up. It might have gone up. You never know, man. It might have gone up. Oh yeah, what's Rhodey been up to? I haven't been notified. Yeah, nothing. Okay, that's. I mean, I'll get out before 12 anyway, so I can sit in my hot spot. I'm probably gonna need some sweatpants, so I'll put the sweatpants on. Yeah, it's only 47 by me right now. I mean, that's probably quite warm compared to where you're at, Sonny, but you gotta remember too, I've been climatized to Florida for the past 20 years. I don't remember what really cold weather feels like anymore. Let's see. Yeah, 107. Nice. 93 subs to go. I think we can do it. Good stuff. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. You know, these things that used to be free, they're not anymore. And they're upcharging. Plus, a lot of the updates they make, like a lot of the visual effects look stupid. They look ridiculous. It's like, if I'm going to be paying you guys extra to use something I was already using for a lower price or even free, at least give me some good shit instead of these like ugly ass looking transition effects. They look terrible. There's one that's like a flip book. It looks retarded. It's like, you're going to keep upcharging. You might as well actually give an incentive for people to pay instead of just trash looking effects. Right? If everything looks terrible, then the people that use Adobe Premiere Pro are just going to keep using Adobe Premiere Pro instead of CapCut. And CapCut is, last I checked, CapCut was supposed to be like the budget alternative to Adobe. But now it costs as much as Adobe. What's up with that? Lucky you, $10.99. Jeez, man. They're gonna charge. They're charging me $20 a month if I actually pay for it. So I said, fuck that, right? I said, fuck that, because I have this music downloader converter that I did pay for, and it was reasonably priced. I got that, and essentially what I've been doing is, instead of the extract audio, if I have things that I only need the audio from, I already ran it through the converter, and then I just put that in the timeline. Right, because I used to do the extract audio effect with some of these effects that you see in my videos or hear. Right, you can hear them in my videos too. The whoosh effect, where it's like, you probably hear that anytime I put a visual on the screen. Right, I just ran that through the converter and I just put that in the timeline, because I used to be able to use extract audio for free, but now I got to pay $20 a month to extract audio. Bullshit. And Rosebud's here. What's going on, Rosebud? Hi, listening while working. Well, have a good day at work. Glad you're here. Glad you're listening. My son pays for Adobe. I might just have to learn Adobe. He shares his account with me. So Adobe is not crazy different from CapCut. I used Adobe back in college. Now, I mean, that's like over a decade ago, so I know things are updated and different now, but from what I saw with Adobe compared to CapCut, it's not a whole lot different. It's just that Adobe is more premium there's a lot more that you can do. There's a lot less limitations to the types of added effects and refinements that you can use with your videos. The green screening stuff is way better than CapCut. CapCut has like the most baseline green screening, which is fine for most things, but you know, if you want something to look super professional as if it's not green screen looking, then yeah, probably not CapCut. You should definitely go with Adobe Premiere Pro instead. You know, especially for like movies and just higher production, like higher production value type stuff. Yeah, it's good, man. I mean, that is the industry standard, right? So it better be good. Last I checked, I think it was only a couple dollars more than CapCut. I think it's around 20, 25, something like that. So if you need like really, really good editing software, it's pretty good. And back in high school, I used to use Avid. I don't know if you've heard of that one, Avid. That used to be like an industry standard type of editing software. They've fallen off hard. I don't even know if people still really use Avid anymore. Plus, I mean, we're going back, what, 14, 15 years ago? Man, I'm getting old. Good stuff. Guess I'll put Uber Eats on. I mean, they're hardly going to send me anything anyway. And since the e-bike is back on the road, I guess we'll put on Grubhub too. I guess. They'll hardly send me anything. Like 75, 80, 85% of the time, Grubhub just sends me orders that are going like 15, 20 miles, paying $10, $15, right? A lot of the time, they're either backwards orders or they're a hard dollar per mile, but you got to go 17, 18 miles for it. No bueno. Very no bueno indeed. I mean, there can be situations where it's not bad, I guess. Like, let's say I need to get to Cocoa for some reason. Cocoa, the most northern part of Cocoa is 15 miles from where I'm at. If I needed to get to Cocoa and I was sent an order from like Grubhub, Uber Eats, or whatever, and it was taking me right to that area, I'd probably take it just so it's not completely dead miles, right? It's either I travel that 15 miles with nothing, or I can take an order that is maybe not the most ideal, but could work in this moment. Like, you can definitely make a case for that. Might even be ideal. And I mean, if you had an order that can take you back home too, when you're ready to go back home, that would also be pretty cool. But I don't travel that far on my e-bikes. I rarely do. There have been times when I did, but for the most part, I basically stay within like 5 or 6 miles, pretty much. Plus, most of the offers I get from these apps are 5 or 6 miles, so it just works. Yeah, getting ready to be lunchtime. Plus, I'll want to have a little bit of lunch myself. A little thing to snack on. Yeah, my stream's a little behind on here. That's okay. Yeah, a little bit of stuttering there. Yeah, no big deal. That's okay. And yeah, close that tab. I'll close this tab for now. Good stuff. Cool. Gonna get up and find something to make for lunch. Nice. Good stuff. I know I got some got a little bit of tofu stuff left over. I'll probably have that for lunch. I'm not even that hungry, so maybe I'll just have a snack and have that for later. There's a lot of these. Yummy! Apple cinnamon rice crisps. Mega num nums. I also need to see if I can get my car out of the garage. Hopefully there's not too much snow. Yeah, hopefully with that as well. That would be snow fun. But let's see. I'm gonna take one more break. I gotta go pee pee one more time. So I'll do that. I'll spend a couple more minutes streaming, maybe give people another opportunity to stop by, say hi. But in the meantime, I will be right back. Just gotta tinkle. Okay, I am back and I'm feeling good. And what do we got? Hey, Mary's here. What's going on, Mary? Slept in pretty late today, huh? Must have been pretty tired. How'd you sleep? And what are you up to? Let us know in the comment section down below. 493. All right, let's go. Sunny's at 493. Heck yeah, only 7 more. Let's go, guys. It is Sunny Sub Tuesday. You might think, oh, it's only Sunny Sub Monday, though. What, we're going to have another day where we need a sub to Sunny? Yes, and we're going to keep doing it until she gets the 500. And when she gets the 500, we better get her to 1000. Am I right? Let's get Sunny channel membership opportunities, and let's get Sunny monetized. We can do it, guys. Yeah, run out of water. But it's all good. We got Grubhub on for the first time in a few days. And we'll see what Grubhub decides to send me. And got Uber Eats on. Still nothing, but that's okay. And we got Roadie on. Still nothing, but that's okay too. I got the schedule was shipped on till about 6, give or take, before it gets too nippy out. Still nothing, and that's okay. Because once they turn DoorDash on, yes, they will send me something. And hopefully it'll be a spicy order. That would be heckin' dope. Yeah, it looks like it's pink right now. They'll probably send me something. Plus, since my bike is officially fixed up, mostly, and back on the road, start taking those grocery orders again. Start taking those shopping orders. Abolish ATF. Yeah, I don't know what that one's about. Oh, geez, Kane. Sending me another funny clip. That's cool. And I'm sure you guys might also be wondering, well, Mike, given why your bike motor spun out and you were having issues, does that mean you're going to do things the same or are you going to do things a little differently? Well, earlier this morning, or earlier in this post, in this live stream, I did go over my community post that I recently posted on my channel. And for anyone that's wondering, I do post regularly in the community tab, right? I help keep you guys updated that way. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually read it or notice it or get notified whenever there is community updates in the communities tab, but I'm always writing stuff, always updating you guys about things. But in that post, I did update about getting one of my bikes back on the road. It's not the one you've seen in my videos. It's the other one that I've had. I've briefly mentioned before, but that's the one that's officially back on the road. It had a similar problem where the motor spun out. It also had some broken spokes. The manufacturer sent me the motor a while ago, but they couldn't send me spokes. They were out of stock. So I had to wait to get the correct size spokes. Still waiting on that, but I did find spokes that are 1 millimeter larger. I saw them down just a little bit so they can fit better on the rim. So I was able to get the motor laced up properly. It's not perfectly straight though. There is a slight wobble, and that is because of the improperly sized spokes. But I've only got a couple weeks before I get those manufacturer spokes again. When that happens, I'll swap them out and that'll get the bike running even better. But for right now, we have a decent solution. I was able to get that taken care of. And a couple other things need to get worked on too. I need to see if that front axle was tightened up properly. It needed a cone wrench, which I have a cone wrench to tighten up one of the bolts for the front axle. So hopefully that worked. I had to tighten it up a little last night because it's pretty rattly, which makes the bike a little loud, let's just say. It's not exactly a quiet bike either, but you know, it's all good. It's running, so that's the most important thing. But yeah, essentially, that's what I was updating before with that stuff. Now, I also did update in that same post that, yes, I will have to scale back a little bit on some of the things I've been doing. So I do have another tool that I recently acquired to help me continue getting large orders. It's just the large orders will not be loaded directly on the bike anymore, at least to any significant capacity. So like case packs of water, case packs of soda. To be on the safe side, to make it less likely for a motor spin out to happen as quickly as it did, I'm not going to be loading those kinds of heavy items directly on the frame anymore. I'm going to use my mystery mouse tool, the surprise tool that'll help us later with that sort of heavy lifting. Because that surprise tool that will help us later, no spoilers yet, upcoming video on that, that's going to help us be able to carry large orders still. And it'll do so without putting direct pushing force on the bike. So it'll primarily focus more on pulling force. And hub motors are generally better with pulling force than pushing. So that should hopefully not lead to a quick and sudden motor spin out, at least not anytime soon. But trust me, you'll still see large orders, right? You'll still see large orders in my videos, and I'm sure you guys will still continue to be surprised by my my Tetris capabilities, let's just say. Because as you guys know or know by now, may know or may not know by now, Unofficial king of Tetris right here, boy. That's how we roll. And Mary, I don't know if you caught the video, but I put it out last night. It's the mountain bike large grocery order video, the one that I was hinting at with one of my previous live streams. Because our buddy, keeping it real life, he was encouraging me to take it. I was sent the offer. I accepted the offer, but I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted to take it, because how the hell was I going to carry a large grocery order in my bag, on my back, on a mountain bike? But he was like, I think you can do it, Mike. And I was like, you know what? I think I can do it too. Not going to spoil what went down, but let's just say it made for an interesting video. I'll link it in the chat. If it's any consolation, I did shorten the intro for that video. So the intro was like, what, 6 seconds, 5 or 6 seconds, just for you, Mary, and just for you, Sonny. Attempting the impossible. Huge grocery order on a mountain bike. So this video right here, you want to click on it, you want to view it, there you go. And you may be surprised by how things turned out. That's my most recent video, uploaded yesterday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, buddy Charles from Keeping It Real Life, he commented, he's like, I knew you can do it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Must stretch. Man. I see. Let's see. See, Mary's gone now. I mean, I know she said she just woke up, so she's probably getting ready for the day. That's cool. All right. You know where the video's at. It's always there. It's on my channel. It's in the videos tab, and it's in the playlist tab, because it's on my watch list pre-recorded videos playlist. For anyone that wants to run that playlist in the background on the computer to help you boy keep making those public watch hour gains. If you want. If you want. And what do we got? Bomb City dashing. Finally, a dashing video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Okay, I will put that in my watch later list. Because if I don't put it in the watch later list, there is a possibility I forget. And I don't mean to forget. It's just, you know, it happens. So if I put things in specific areas where I can find them later, it makes it more likely for me to find it. And be like, oh yeah, that's right. Gotta watch this video. See, exactly, right? Sonny knows what I'm talking about. Had you running at the same time, I'm on my PC, you were on another tab. Because I know a lot of people also watch live streams from their phones, and I understand it can be more complicated to watch multiple streams at once and having both streams or all the streams running at the same time. I know it's complicated like that. But if you got a PC and you're watching from the PC, put me on a tab, run the live stream, run my playlists. Let's get those public watch hours, boy. I do the same thing with my computers too, because this is a gaming computer. I can run like hella live streams on this computer, and it runs perfectly fine. So if Sonny's live, if Mary's live, if Ray is live, if Valerie's live, multiple people are live, I'd be like, yep, you're all live, and you're all streaming on my computer simultaneously. Even if I'm not directly active in the chat 100% of the time, or if I favor one chat over the other, I still got you running, because we're going to help everyone get those public watch hours. Am I right? You have to check the chat. That's okay. Can't have more than one stream on the phone at the same time. I think there are some more advanced phones that could do that, but yeah, they're pretty heckin' expensive, and I'm not exactly sure. I think they're more like tablets, if I'm not mistaken. Thumbs up. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about, everybody. Thank you for the thumbs up and thank you for subscribing and ringing that Taco Bell. That way I get notified the next time that you upload. Eric has people arguing in his chat. You got a link? You got a link to the chat so I can pop in? I'll say hi, throw in some corn cobs. Maybe that will lighten the tension. You got the wrench, so you can send links in the chat. I don't think I have link restrictions on this channel either. I gotta double check that one. I don't think I do. Let's see. Allow viewers to clip my content. Yeah, got that one. Permissions, that's right. Or is it channel moderation? Yeah, that's right, channel moderation. Yeah, I don't have block links checked on, so, you know, you guys are welcome to send links. That is okay. So, I mean, even, you know, like, even if it's spam, I'll just get rid of it. I don't care. But if it's not, all right, here we go. Cool. All right. Yeah, I was subscribed, but it didn't notify me. That's weird. That's okay. I changed up the Taco Bell settings. That way I get notified the next time that Eric uploads and streams. Heck yeah. I'm guessing this Albert guy and Candy. That seems to be where the arguing is happening, huh? How long's it been going on for? Probably a while, huh? Wrong, I know that we can and do change lives, and I have changed some through God's mighty help. I know because they told me. I don't know. I don't know. For reference, I'm atheist, so I don't necessarily buy into that, but you do you. I was raised in a Catholic household, by the way. Fun fact for you. JK, I will let you say you're trash, but when you're a liar, brother, you shall be called out. Stop your lying, JK. Oh, it looks like JK and Albert were arguing. Then I guess, okay, then Candy jumped in. I see. Eric, sorry I had to call out JK, but he is lying right now, and I don't play that. Lying about what, though? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna stick my nose in business that I don't belong in, but I can still watch from afar, can't I? I mean, we do whenever whenever dramatic things happen with other people. We're like, oh, I hate drama, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Oh my god, Lisa like Fred? Wow. You know, vicarious, as they say. I call it as I see Albert. Get used to it. So Derek needs protection, so we'll protect him. Protection from what? What, trolls and stuff like that? Doxing? Blackmail? We're not fighting, we're just telling the truth. Oh no, my camera! Wait. Oh, there we go. Huh, that was weird. I was like, oh no, where did I go? All right, we're good. It's all good. Right, nothing but good vibes here. That's what we're all about. Sorry to inform you, Candy, you are not telling the truth and you actually have no clue at all, but it is all good. Who is this Albert guy? I don't even know who he is. Let's see. The more you say that, the more it sounds like bullshit. Offer him 6 months free. I don't even know what the hell they're arguing about. I don't even know. Do I even want to know? I don't even know. I'm just going to put my corn cobs. How about that? We'll just put some corn cobs in the chat. And it looks like Mary uploaded a video. Got her egrets coming by on this cold morning. I'll put that in my watch later list as well. And I'll give it a preemptive lick. Even if I didn't watch the video yet, I'll still lick it. If you know so much, JK and Candy, show evidence or stand down. So some kind of burden of proof sort of thing over something. I don't even know. Oh well, whatever. I just put some corn cobs in the chat. So is Eric? Are they monetized? Is their channel monetized? I see they got channel memberships. I don't know if they're monetized though. If anybody knows, let us know in the comment section down below. Because perhaps we can help them with their public watch hours too. Yeah, whatever this whole thing is, it sounds confusing. Let's see. Albert says, tell me something. Do either of you pay Eric's bills? No, you do not. So watch who you are, who you call a fraud. So what is this all about? Is this Eric being called a fraud or something? So what is this Albert guy like accusing someone of being a fraud? Maybe I will do some detective work. Let's find out. Okay, they do have a channel. Interesting. Let's see. Albert Torcaso. The mission of my channel is to change lives for the better by earning additional income and to help people feel great through nutritional supplements. Nutritional supplements, huh? I see. Well, given the fact most nutritional supplements are pretty trash, that's a little sus. But hey, I'll give benefit of the doubt. Faith and a drive-in. Not really sure. Okay, looks like he advertises supplements a lot, I guess. Albert is trying to sell a $9.95 a month subscription to something. The other people are telling Albert he doesn't have the money and leave Eric alone. So he keeps calling him oh, okay. So pretty much he's the one that's been striking first and making the big claims, and people are having a problem with Albert making these big harsh claims and to provide evidence for his claims. And I guess he's deflecting everything from the looks of it. I see. Okay. So I guess he's a paid shill who uses the faith card to excuse his actions. Good to know. Good to know indeed. I will keep that in mind. Yeah. Well, now that I have a general idea what it's about, guess that's it. I guess that's it. It's like one of those Days in Our Lives episodes. You remember that show, Sonny? Days in Our Lives? Just let me know in the comment section down below. I used to watch some of that with my great grandparents. They loved that show. I used to they had a couple rooms in our basement. Well, not basement, but it was like a lower section of the house that led to the basement. And they had like just a nice living arrangement down there. We all lived together as a family pretty much. It was a big crowded house. It was a nice house too. But I would always go down there. I would watch Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. I would watch Days in Our Lives with them. Just good memories. So that's how I got familiar with that show. We're talking like what, early 2000s. So I was pretty young, but I just remember the memories of watching the show, even if I don't really remember what the show was about. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, drama is nah. You know what? I'm not gonna start the pod. I'll just not even say anything. I'll leave some more corn cobs. How about that? Corn cobs. That's right. Who can turn down some corn? Oh, I didn't know I was a mod for Eric. Oh, ooh, okay. I had no idea. I'll put some popcorn in it too. I'll put some unicorns in there too. Good vibes. Eric, I agree with that, but false witness is crossing the line. Yeah, it just seems like petty bullshit drama. That's what it looks like. Yeah. That is beneath me. I mean, I was curious. I was wondering what the hell it was about, but yeah, it's pretty much beneath me. Fuck that shit. Life's too short for that stuff, man. It really is. Life is hard and stressful without that. You know what I mean? Life is hard and stressful without that. You just add that to it, you might as well be a glutton for punishment. Like, goddamn. Am I right? Plus, I'm like I mentioned before. I'm more of an outskirts guy. I largely just keep to myself, like most things. So, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, me too. I don't like drama, but I like to know people. That is a great way to put it, Sonny. That is a great way to put it. Yeah, now he's bragging about earning money while he was sleeping. Okay. Good for you, Albert. Good job. Glad you can do that. Glad you can do that. Support Eric with watch time, but now I have to go. All right, cool beans. Glad you stopped by, Sonny. I'm gonna be hitting the sack pretty soon myself. It's yeah, it's 11:45, so I'm gonna have my snack and then I'm gonna head out. I finna bounce from Eric's live, yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna wrap up here anyway too. Got to get my day started, you know. Curious about how well this live stream did today. No, it's okay. I get it. Like I said, I was gonna wrap up pretty soon anyway. Yeah, curious how this live stream did. All right, so we got about 6 watch hours, so not quite as much as yesterday, but there weren't as many people this morning, which is fine. That is totally fine. That's totally fine because, you know, tomorrow's another day. I even thought about streaming more than once per day, but I'll have to see about that. Because sometimes it kind of feels like a rat race trying to get, trying to get slots without, I guess, getting in the way of someone else's stream. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like, do what you got to do, I guess, right? But, you know, it's all good. I mean, hell, you know, people like Mary have even said, like, just stream whenever. It's like, all right, cool. That was sort of the inspiration with this live stream, but also the fact that usually around this time of day, as I'm getting ready for the day, or if I'm like pretty much ready, but just feel like chilling out for a little bit, don't have a whole lot going on. So it's like, you know what? Let's live stream it. Will I do it every day, all the time? We'll see. I'm not exactly sure yet. Oh, it looks like Matthew's live. Let's see. Matthew's up to 649. I mean, he's probably going to complain about not being out of 600 yet, but hey, he's up to 649. That's great. I'll give him some corn cobs. There you go, Matthew. Yeah. Sounds good. And I guess some person named Alexia. Oh, they're saying hi in multiple languages, then got banned. Oh, that's funny. Those are some nice trucks, Matthew. Those are some nice trucks, right? You got a really cool thing to get people to subscribe to your channel and tune in, but your attitude sucks, man. You got to work on your attitude. I speak as in friendly, constructive criticism. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, I'm going to make some lunch. Cool. Enjoy your lunch. In the meantime, thank you everyone who's tuned in today so far. If you like the stream, just give it a lick. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so already. If you haven't, what are you doing? Come on, help me get to 200, because I'm also on a mission to get Sunny to 500 and Valentine Cruises to 100. So let's do it. Let's do it, fam. We can make it happen. Of course, ring that Taco Bell. That way get notified the next time I upload and live stream. And leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of today's live stream. Let me know what else you'd like to see next for this channel. All that good stuff. If you want to show super support for your boy, visit my link tree. I've got resources where you can help me out. And I've got resources where I can help you out. And last but not least, let's give a shout out to everybody who showed up today. We had B up in the house. And Mr. Charles, he was keeping it real with us, as always. Sunny Cornsicles, probably the most active participant today. So if we happen to have a trophy for the person that's been here the longest and the most active, that would go to Sunny Cornsicles. Much obliged, Sunny. We're going to get you to 500 before you know it. In fact, I'm going to call it now. By this weekend, you will be at 500 definitively. So let this be the moment where it was recorded in real time that Mike the Bike Dasher, Mike the Corn Dasher, Mike the Corn Star, whatever you want to call me, said that Sunny will be at 500 by the weekend. Can we make it happen? I think we can. So let's do it. And speaking of the devil, Eric was here. Eric's live streaming right now. Get him those public watch hours, and he was also here too, which is awesome. Glad to stop by, Eric. And we had Tate was here for a little bit. And Valentine's hubby, or should I say Valerie's hubby, the hubby guy, he was here too. Good stuff. I love his name, Abe. It always makes me think of the Oddworld games. But anyway, I digress on that one. Rosebud was here. And of course, last but not least was Mary. Mary's gigs. Mary is gradually getting herself out of that 700. Let's get Mary monetized as well. Mary's very supportive. She's always promoting people's channels. Let's show a little love back, shall we? So yeah, we had a decent crowd this morning. Not as many, but that's okay, right? Next live stream could be even better. As we're on this journey to getting this channel monetized and helping some people along the way too. That's heckin' dope, fam. And on that note, that's all I got for now. Catch you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Take care, everybody.